Hello, Aries. Welcome to Soul Good. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a blessing and pleasure to be here with you. Before we dive in, I have to share that there have been several attempts at getting these messages to you, more than I can count at this point. So please do trust that when these messages have found you, there is likely something here for you. Use your discernment, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Do not make it yours if it isn't, but trust your intuition, trust yourself. Take it back to God, pray on it, do whatever it is you do, okay? But this has been a struggle to try to get these to you. So with that being said, there are going to be a couple of messages that I'm bringing forward from previous attempts, but a majority of what I want to share with you before we get into what the cards have to say comes from things that I was just bringing in as I was preparing and connecting with your energy. The collective I'm speaking to, you are likely in this space where it's masks off. That applies not only to yourself, but also to anyone who wants to be a part of your life. Because there's this, I will do this alone before I allow people that I know are manipulative, deceptive, dishonest, or deceitful in any way, shape, or form come in. That's not to say that maybe some won't slip through the cracks or what have you, but if you know that individuals are not coming correct, as it were, you will walk the path alone before you let them just all up in your life. I feel that you're seeking this consistency, this stability, which is stemming from this higher octave of your energy. I was getting Emperor from the tarot. And the more, we'll say, positive attributes of the Emperor or of your energy, Aries, is this more consistent, more stable kind of energy. But it is also one that is, has established or isn't afraid to establish certain boundaries. So I don't feel like this is up for negotiation. There is this, I'm the emperor of my life and I'm going to make the rules. And if you don't like it, too bad. You don't have to be here. Right? So I feel it's come correct or not at all. No flaky, no inflated egoic, no manipulative, no sneaky, no conniving kind of energy. I feel that you want nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with, we'll say, energetic vampires who just want to come around when it's convenient. There is very much this expectation of reciprocated energy or an even exchange of energies. That's not to say that you're demanding or expecting people to return the favor, but there's an understanding that you're expecting, right? I'm not going to dump into something and to get nothing back from it ever. Okay? Because there's a difference. There's a difference between doing things without expectation and people feeding off of you. Huge, 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 huge difference. And if you know, you know, which if you're watching this, you probably do. So this was confirmed as I was shuffling the astral alignment deck through the 4th house card of foundation and roots, and also the ascendant card popping out, which is masks. Okay, 444 on the timer. I was also getting the song Real Wild Child by Iggy Pop, right? I'm a real wild child. I feel that people may have known you as this wild child. Even growing up, you may have been wild. You may have been running around with this energy that cannot be contained. Okay. As you've grown in some of your adult years, you may have been known as the partier or the crazy one who is willing to just do anything, go anywhere, try anything. You may have had that type of persona about you, or that may be how people have known you. But this feels like it comes from having all of this energy, having all of this heart, this passion, this fire, and not knowing what to do with it. And perhaps not having any support or help in how to direct that and how to harness it, how to focus it on things that are healthy. And without that guidance, and perhaps adding in some trauma, wounding, programming, whatever it may be for you, you could have been directing that energy or focusing that energy on things that maybe weren't healthy. Different patterns, habits, behaviors. I'm hearing the word reckless as well. So you could have done reckless things. You could have engaged in some pretty reckless behavior. Maybe it's substances, alcohol, you name it. Okay. It could be anything really. And somewhere along the way, something happened, and this could have been unfolding for several years now, but may have reached a pinnacle more recently, where that's no longer who you are. You've shed that part of yourself. And those who thought they knew you no longer recognize you. You could have even had people saying this to you. Okay? You could have allowed a lot of things to be going on in your experience where you just kind of sat down, were quiet, didn't cause a ruckus about things, not in the way that you're showing up at this point. That's not to say that you're causing a ruckus, but it feels like you could have allowed a lot of things, and maybe your anger got the best of you, or your impulsiveness got the best of you from time to time. But it feels like you're always someone's hero, or you've always been someone else's hero, showing up with your sword, your shield, rescuing people, being the savior, right? Giving yourself over and over and over and over again. And even if you were seen as the life of the party, even if you were seen as the wild one, I still feel like there were those closest to you who would lean on you a lot. You would always show up to help in any way you can. It's like you're the yes person, okay? The yes man, yes woman, whatever it is for you, showing up, saying yes all the time. Oh, you need help moving? I'll be there. Oh, you want this? I'll be there. Oh, I've got this. I can help you. Let me help you out. It feels like you were giving a lot of yourself, but not expecting, or rather not receiving much in return. Very imbalanced energetic exchanges. That's what it feels like. And so now that you have gone through maybe some healing, some introspection, some reflection, maybe you've gained a lot of knowledge about yourself, about your evolution, about your behavior, about things that you've experienced, and have healed potentially a lot of things, you're not showing up the same way anymore. It's like you may have had your dirty dancing baby moment where you are like Patrick Swayze, showing up for yourself, saying nobody puts baby in a corner, nobody puts Aries in a corner. I'm not doing it anymore. Because through this reflective introspection, you've realized the incredible imbalance where you've been giving and giving and giving and giving and just emptying your cup over and over and over again. So now you may be directing that energy, focusing the energy on healthy things like your own evolution, like healing, like knowledge, like wisdom, right? Whatever it is for you, it seems now you're focusing this energy. Now you are giving back to yourself in ways that you have not previously, showing up for yourself with your sword and your shield, being your own hero. And it feels like people aren't really liking it too much. They don't understand. You may have even had people say to you, I don't know you anymore. Who are you? What changed? You're different now. And it's like they can't just show up like it's a freaking 7-Eleven and do whatever they want. Before, it feels as though people around you were comfortable because you were playing small. You were just these smoldering little embers. And ever since you've been stoking the fire and it's growing, they can't stand the heat. And you may have now been at this point where you're like, well, get out the kitchen. I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm not going to go back to that. I'm not going to smother my fire so you can be comfy. Sorry about ya. Which brings me to my next point. Another song that was coming through is called Big God by Florence and the Machine, which, if this resonates with you, check out the video linked in the notes below because there could be more messages there for you. The part of that song that was coming through is one line from the lyrics, which is, to my messages, you do not reply. Because I feel as though trying to continue any sort of relationship with these individuals or trying to stay in a situation you don't belong is like hitting a brick wall. It feels like getting nowhere. And that is intentional. That is a manifestation of this higher octave that you're operating from. Because energies existing on that lower octave, it's like they can't coexist. It can't harmoniously coexist. It'll butt up against each other, okay? So you may have tried to continue to maintain some sort of relationship or some sort of situation or environment or what have you, and feeling like you're just banging your head up against a wall. And it's supposed to be that way. That could most certainly be spiritual protection, spiritual redirection, God looking out for you, your angels looking out for you, saying this is not for you. And people, situations could have been dropping like flies. You could be finding that people who were once very eager to hit you up, to hang out, to whatever, are no longer responsive. They're not answering your texts. They're not answering your calls. They're not coming around anymore, right? And you could have even experienced these red flags going up within your own being, within your body, letting you know that these situations, these individuals are not for you anymore. Once upon a time, it worked. Now it doesn't, because you're not the same person. You've shed this mask that you were wearing. It wasn't the real you. But you've been getting to the real you. And as you've started to let that out, as you've gotten more comfortable with it, as you're as you've started to rise in your level of consciousness, they can't coexist. It will feel like hitting your head against a wall. So there's this non-responsive energy or behavior towards this new you. And what I love about this is that I was also getting the number 333. And the way that it came through to me was as this completeness or this wholeness, and something that you've been able to step into all on your own. That's not to say that you have it all figured out. That's not to say that you're perfect. That's not to say that, you've reached enlightenment and there's nowhere else for you to go, because that's wrong. But if you're in that space, that's not who I'm talking to, okay? But it's reaching this certain level of acceptance of where you are right now, who you are right now, how far you've come right now, what you've learned about yourself to this point. There's a level of acceptance or completion or wholeness with where you find yourself currently. And it's been something that you've done. I'm getting that me, myself, and I, or me, myself, and God, me, myself, and Christ kind of energy. This is something that is likely unfolded all by yourself. Maybe you've had a couple of people here and there that have been supportive, but it really does feel like this is I did this, me, I did this. No one else did this but me and God, period. Okay? And I love that for you. I love that for you. In one of the previous attempts, this was confirmed. Everything I've just said was confirmed by a message on my tea bag, which I felt was 100% for you, Aries. And it said, settling is not an option. Because I feel as though you did that for way too long. You were settling for half-hearted energy. You were settling for just breadcrumbs while you were giving the whole buffet, right? And I just feel like you're not willing to do that anymore. So Nirvana, come as you are, also came in one of the previous attempts, which I feel is saying, this is who I am. This is I'm getting to the more authentic, truthful versions of myself. I'm peeling back the layers to find who I really am. And either you like that or you don't. And I don't care either way. Like, if you're here, you can stand the heat, great. If not, okay, exit stage left. See ya. Good luck to you. All the best. Love you lots. Bye. Right? So let's see what the cards want to say to you. I'm sure there's more, and I can't wait to dive in. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Christ, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what does this Aries collective need to know? Why are they here, please? Why did they find these messages? The energy feels scattered. This is a message that was coming in a previous version, a previous attempt as well. You may feel very scattered. Things may feel very unsettled, very up in the air. And this is likely coming from just being in this space where you haven't been before, being unfamiliar with the territory you find yourself in now. So this is kind of a reminder to let you know that it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means it's new. Give yourself some time to get familiar with the terrain, as it were. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So, come on now. Serious? I'm getting fear. Pardon me, I'm getting fear coming up. We have don't dim to fit in. Did you see that? You guys, that it's like those days are over. Okay? Don't dim to fit in. Notice the three beings here on the card. This is a card that actually has come up in previous attempts. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Like I was saying, the days of you smothering your fire, smothering your light, giving yourself the bare minimums and letting everyone else be comfortable are over. This jumped out of my hand, face down, back. It's like, no, we're not doing that anymore. Throw it out like yesterday's trash, because this is not who you are. No more playing small Aries. No more putting yourself on the back burner. No more putting yourself in the corner. No more neglecting yourself. No more dishonoring yourself. No more lying to yourself. It's done. It's done. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives connect with nature. Ground into your true nature. Notice this light, these orbs of light streaming all the way through the center of this card. Anchoring into who you are, grounding into who you are, your true nature, connecting with your true nature and grounding it. You may have recently taken on some sort of meditative or prayer practice, something that allows you to connect with your deeper self, your inner world, something that allows you to get very introspective and reflective, giving yourself that time, especially when it comes to navigating your feelings, navigating your thoughts. But more so than anything, this is a message to connect with your true nature. Certainly, you could be called to be out in nature, but something I've noticed is that we tend to see nature as something separate from ourselves, when in reality, we are nature. We're a part of nature. And so this could be very much about connecting with your true nature. We have seasons as individuals, just like we see out in nature. And maybe you're someone who is learning how to identify where you're at, what season you're in, and how to navigate that accordingly. But for most of you, this is a message of connecting with your true nature, as we've been speaking on, and grounding into that, rooting into that, creating foundation around that. And take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. One of the first things I'm drawn to with this card is that calm water in the background there, speaking to being able to better navigate your emotions, better navigate your inner world, better navigate yourself and who you truly are, and how you function, how you operate, if you will. This is also speaking to giving back to yourself in ways that you have not done before. Spirit may be opening a door for you, which will allow for you to give back to yourself in again, in ways that you maybe have not been able to previously or refused to previously. I'm even hearing that you may have found yourself or you may have thought yourself to be unworthy, undeserving, something similar to that. You may have believed that you weren't enough, that in order for you to take the time to relax or to take a break, you had to accomplish some level of something, some kind of success, or some kind of or had to attain some level of something, some level of status in order to take a break. Others around you may have also, to some degree or another, expected you to always be on, because you've had all of this energy and not known what to do with it. And so you were directing it outwardly. So others could, again, it feels like you may have shown up as the hero, the savior, over and over and over and over again, because you didn't know what to do with all this energy. And so you were directing it outwardly. But this is asking you to point it inward. It's asking you or reminding you again to give that back to yourself. This doesn't feel like the time for you to be focusing all of your energy outwardly. That's not to say that you can't show up for others, that you can't be of service, that you can't be helpful or supportive for others, but there's a balance that you're being asked to maintain. There's a everything in moderation vibe. In other words, don't be giving and not giving yourself anything. Not sacrificing yourself for the sake of others, because you're no good to anyone if you're burnt out. You're no good to you. You're no good to anyone else. You're no good to God if you are burnt out, if your well is dry, as it were. Okay, so let's see what else for Aries. What else for Aries, please? Thank you. Yep, there it is. Temperance, balance. It's all about balance. This is what I feel you're learning, how to balance these energies, or this is what you're being guided to do. Hermit. With the Hermit in the reverse, there's a feeling of intentional withdrawal. Or maybe you were kind of forced, right? Or how do I say this? Voluntold. Spirit may have voluntold you to step back. Okay? What do I mean by that? Sometimes things will happen where Spirit's nudging you, saying, hey, you should spend some time alone. Hey, you should get introspective. Hey, you should take a break. Hey, you should give yourself some time. Hey, you should get more rest. Hey, you should eat better, etc., etc., etc. And we can be real stubborn, real hard-headed, and think we know better. And so we just keep going, even though we're getting all of these nudges. And sometimes Spirit will come along and knock you on your behind, and you'll be voluntold to take a break. So maybe you twist an ankle, maybe you get the flu or whatever. Okay, I'm not a doctor, cannot, will not, do not give medical advice, but I'm saying that there are times that we think we know better, and Spirit's like, but you don't. And if you keep going this way, you're really going to find yourself in a world of trouble. So I'm going to put you in a position where you have to step back, or you have no other choice but to be alone. Which brings me back to maybe experiencing individual situations, opportunities, etc., falling away just out of the blue, unexpectedly. And you may have been in a position where you were kind of forced to be alone. And you may have even tried to defy that at some point, trying to go hang out, trying to meet up with people, trying to go places. And Spirit's like, no, sorry. It reminds me of that non-responsive energy. You know, texting, calling, and getting no response. Spirit's way of positioning you to bring things back into balance by giving you this time, or rather by isolating you. What else for Aries, please? Thank you. 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. Stillness may be rather challenging for you. This could be another lesson that you're learning presently. Patience. Things not happening at the drop of a hat. Not having this ability to be impulsive, wanting to go, 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 but experiencing more still or slower moving energies. And that really may be testing you. It may be very, very uncomfortable. 3 of Swords in the reverse, but this is for your healing. This is all been to give you the time that you need to heal from the things that have, the word I'm getting actually is tormented or haunted. Heartbreaks, suffering, any kind of pain that you've been carrying around. It's been, all of this has been to give you the opportunity to heal from that, to let it go, to move forward, to find forgiveness, especially with yourself, to understand things at a much deeper level, seeing things from an observer's perspective. This could be something that you have already been going through. You may recognize some of these things that I'm saying. Oh yeah, like I was just experiencing that. If not, this could be something that you are getting ready to move into. Okay. Yes, to position you to experience this level of fulfillment, this joy, this peace, thank you, Spirit, within yourself. It has been to cultivate this fullness, this wholeness within you. I love that you have this 10 showing up, because it's telling me that this is leading you. It's telling me that it's bringing you even closer to this level of completion that we were speaking on earlier with the 333 energy. Positioning you to experience joy and fulfillment in a way that you have not yet. It's not something that's going to start from an external experience and then create this feeling of happiness within you, which is fleeting. This is something that is going to begin from within you and may spill out into your external experience, but it's going to start from within you. And the 4 of Cups. Notice how on this card, she's looking towards these 3 empty cups, but is ignoring the full rainbow cup there on the other side of her. Again, this feels very much like positioning you to realize that everything you are seeking is within you. It starts within you. Any love, any fulfillment, any joy, any wholeness, any completion, anything, any peace, harmony, healing, it all starts within. You cannot find it externally. You can try, but you will fail. And so all of this feels as though it's been building up, or it's been unfolding in a way that is going to position you to no longer look externally, to recognize that it begins from within. You have it within you. Again, it's very introspective. It is going within, giving yourself time to contemplate, to be reflective, and to recognize that it starts within you. And anytime that you seek that externally, anytime you look for anything external to validate you or to fulfill you, you're going to end up empty-handed. Your cup will be empty. But if it starts from within you, that's where you're going to find that fulfillment. That's where you're going to find peace. That's where you're going to find love. That's where you're going to find joy. That's where you're going to find all of these things that may have eluded you. What else, please? Thank you. Oh my good golly. All right, we'll take that one. So let's start here. We have Scorpio. Deep, intense, transformative. You may have Scorpio in your chart. Maybe your chart is heavy with Scorpio energy. Your big 3, one of your big 3 could be Scorpio. But more than anything, this feels like an acknowledgement of the deep, intense transformation you've been going through. And this has not been easy. What I'm being reminded of with Scorpio is the scorpion and the sting of the scorpion. So this has been a process that has been painful. And the thing about more, let's say, new age spiritual groups is that there's this false idea of love and light and everything, and it's so easy and blah, 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 blah. But real, true, deep transformation, deep evolution comes with pain. Pain is often the catalyst. Pain often becomes potential. Or rather, there's potential in pain. We like to try to avoid pain, but oftentimes it's through the pain that we grow the most. It's through the challenges, the struggle, that we discover who we truly are. And that may be what has been unfolding for you. It's through actually facing these deep, painful things that has created this tremendous transformation. Or it's through facing these deep truths. For example, I have been dishonoring myself by neglecting myself. I've been teaching myself that I can't trust myself because I've been pushing me to the side. I've been shoving me aside. I've been ignoring my wants, my needs for everyone else. That is a painful truth that a lot of people have had to come to and will have to come to. So again, I'm reminded of the scorpion's sting, This has not been an easy process, and I feel this is acknowledging that. It is a confirmation for you that the work that you have been doing has not gone unnoticed. Supermoon, luminosity, intimacy, hyper awareness. This may have unlocked a level of intimacy with yourself that you have never experienced before. It could actually be causing you to fall in love with yourself. Before, you may have not been able to see yourself in the way that you're seeing yourself now. And you may have really disliked a lot of things about yourself. You may have been very critical and hard on yourself. But as you've gone through this process, you may be finding that more and more and more, you are finding things to love about yourself, getting very intimate with you, learning about the deepest parts of yourself and getting to know them. And doing so, for some of you, from this more observer's perspective, you may be falling in love with yourself, and that's beautiful, Aries. Oh my Lord. It's beautiful. And you may be glowing, okay? You may be glowing. There could actually be people in your experience who have mentioned this. Mentioned your light, mentioned that you're glowing, mentioned that you just seem to be brighter, you seem to be more lively than before. Finally, we have Cancer, nurturing, sensitive, caring. This is you showing up or being encouraged to show up for yourself, to nurture yourself, to care for yourself. It's really bringing it back around. Being sensitive to your needs. Cancerian energy is very motherly. Maybe you have Cancer in your chart as well. But this is asking you, nudging you to be motherly toward yourself. Male or female, doesn't matter. It's looking after you the way a mother would, as we all should be doing for ourselves. Think about that. Really, this may be something you want to meditate on, truly, because when you really start to think about how would a mother, a loving, caring, nurturing mother, show up for a child, and consider the ways that you can do that for yourself. A lot of us have had to learn or will have to learn how to reparent ourselves, how to be a parent for ourselves, which we did not have previously. We weren't able to experience that in childhood. And so we have to show up for ourselves in that way so that we can heal, so that we can grow, so that we can flourish, bloom. And it feels like this is why this is showing up here for you. You may have also been dealing with some mother wounds, okay? So that could be confirmation for someone. Final messages for Aries, please. Thank you. Okay. I feel like there's one more in here somewhere. There it is. Thank you. Okay, first, oh wow, hello, we have the Panther. This is annihilation. This is purging on a whole nother level. You may have experienced in 24, and I feel like a lot of people did, this purging of your life. You could have had a lot, and I mean a lot of things falling away. People, places, situations, material items, possessions, living situations, jobs, you name it. It could have been, like I said earlier, dropping like flies. 24 seems to have been a year of purging, seems to have been a year of annihilation for a whole lot of people, a very big collective. And if this is true for you, this is a sign that that has been intentional. That has been for you to start building from this new foundation. The dragon. I will read from the guidebook for this spirit card. I do that. It's just part of my thing. So I will read this to you in just a moment. But I'm noticing the focus on eyes. In the Panther card, the eyes are glowing. We have this big, huge dragon eye right here, which is telling me that you're seeing things from a very different perspective. I feel as though your vision is getting much more clear. You're seeing things from a very different perspective. Notice we're also with 3 eyes here. So third eye energy. Your intuition may have been growing a lot. You may have been getting a lot of nudges, a lot of intuitive hits. I'm also getting to pay attention to your dreams because there may be something there for you as well. We also have the owl in the out of balance position. This is opening your eyes to wisdom, to truths. This owl is this representation of abundance as well. And it feels to me like you're seeing very clearly what it actually means to be abundant. What actually is abundance and what does that look like? You could have been living from the very worldly definition of abundance, for example, reaching for a certain status, a certain bank account, a certain level of success. And maybe you're now learning that that actually isn't what abundance means. That's not to say that you can't have material possessions or wealth or financial wealth, what have you, but that's not real abundance because it can be gone at any point in time. And then where are you? So let me grab the guidebook and we'll talk about this dragon a little bit more. Okay. Come on. Seriously? All right. So, seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. So I feel that this is confirmation for you with regard to the appreciation for how far you've come. Recognizing that it is all of those experiences, the culmination of all of your life's experiences that have brought you to this point. that will allow you to evolve in a way that you could not possibly had you not experienced what you have to this point. And there's this deep appreciation for that. And again, more confirmation with that terrain, navigating this new terrain that you now find yourself in. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their agni, forgive me you guys if I totally botched that, their agni is dim. Agni is described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center in the Manipura chakra. Manipura translates to the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to clearly see both the inner and outer dimensions. So lots of confirmation for you, Aries, with that dragon energy. I'm getting fear. I feel the fear that I'm picking up on is actually coming from seeing truth. There's a saying that I really like, which is the truth will set you free, but first it's going to hurt a lot. Okay, I've been saying that for a long time. And the level of fear that I'm picking up on is stemming from the knowing that upon learning certain truths, there's a level of pain that comes with that, because you have to also see the lie. So moving forward, recognize where the fear is coming from as you begin to learn truths about yourself and the world around you, okay? Holy biscuits, Aries. I pray that this is helpful for you. I pray that it brings you clarity, confirmation, or some kind of value as you navigate your path moving forward. I again want to thank you so much for being here. If this has resonated with you, please hit the like button, comment below, check out your sun, moon, or rising for deeper insights. I'm sending you so much love. Take care of your growing, evolving, courageous, powerful, valuable soul. Peace be with you and within you, and I hope to see you in another chat. Bye.